Greetings, everyone. We are here for a best of 3 Throne of Eldraine draft today. That's right. The chat has spoken, and we are on our free-to-play 2 account, and we're going to play a best of 3. In fact, let me change this. Best of 3 Throne of Eldraine draft. Sideboarding, you say? I'm in. Let's draft those narrow sideboard cards and make them work. That's going to be fun. If you need to buy some narrow sideboard cards to fill out your latest standard deck, maybe you're getting into Pioneer, you've got a modern brew you're working on, and you've got to come up with the perfect answers out of the board, well, you know where you can pick them up. Of course, you pick them up at cardkingdom.com, and of course, you go there through the affiliate link down below in my panels. Card Kingdom is my sponsor. They help support this stream, keep it on the air, and I'm very grateful for that, and you're going to be grateful for them if you turn them into one of your regular resources for physical magic stuff. You're going to realize that every time you place an order with them, you get it quickly, you get exactly what you expect, you get a fair market price, and you also have the comfort in knowing that if you ever want to send some stuff back to them, they're going to give you one of the best buy lists in the industry, and they're going to give you a 30% store credit if you want to take your sales to them in store credit instead of cash. You get a little extra, 30% extra. That's really nice. And yeah, it's always helpful for me if you check out their link via my affiliate link, and to keep me in mind if you're going to do any tabletop spending, and Card Kingdom is the winner when you break it down and decide who you're going to go with. So thank you, Card Kingdom, and thank you all for your support of them for me. Let's jump in. 1500. Oh, this is our free-to-play 2 account. So we're using some of our spare resources here. Oh my gosh, it's another Once Upon a Time, which of course is the new meme that my son made, but now I can't play it. It'll be garbage if I play it, and that's too bad. How much removal is too much? It really depends. It's so deck content. It's deck dependent, and it also depends a lot on how much. Thanks, Geek Dad. Appreciate the sub. Fluffy Face, it depends on how much card draw you have on some level too. If I'm in a deck where I have card draw and removal, there's almost no amount that's too much, because that's a game plan. Like, as long as I can cycle my library at the end, at that point, I'm just going to attrition you into the ground, and it'll be fine. The trouble, yeah, well, that's the sub one. It's actually here. Let me. So the sub-firing of Rat Burglar works. What happens if I play the Rat Burglar from my panel? Here, I'm going to try. Sorry if this sounds terrible again, but I need to do science. Some say I never heard of ya, a Rat Burglar. How was that? Huh. All right, well, we have Once Upon a Time in the pack. I'm also going to run the new meme in honor of that, because I'm trying to see if that sounds okay too. Maybe it's just a couple of these memes aren't playing right. All right, try this one. All right, well, that one's good. I don't know what's going on. Clearly I got some work to do there. And now I've completely derailed. What was I talking about? Oh, removal. Yeah, but if you're in a spot where you don't have card draw, you can have too much removal. I've had like a red-black deck that had 8 pieces of removal or whatever, and it was like, all right. So I removed most of what they played, but then they played a 9th creature or whatever. They had more creatures than I had removal. I ran out of removal. They played a creature. It was bigger than anything I had, and I lost, right? So that's the problem with too much removal. So it's somewhat dependent on what your deck looks like. But there is a limit in some decks for sure on where it's like, you've got that job filled. We got the removal job filled. We need the win the game job filled now. Having enough non-removal or having enough ability to draw other things besides removal, so that you are doing other things, which I guess is, yeah, the same thing, like making sure you have access in hand to things that aren't removal. I was going to explain why once isn't good in limited. Once is okay. You are, let's see, you're gonna see, let's say if it's your 8th card, it's generally going to be cast for free. So 20% of the time it's amazing, and then 80% of the time it's pretty clunky. You know, for example, we played the card in Dominaria that was a common green sorcery. Look at your top 3 and pull a land or creature into your hand. We didn't love that card, and that was 3 cards seen at 1 green, and this is 5 cards seen at 2 mana. So it's at instant though, so that's has some play. But yes, I think this is highly replaceable. It's not bad. In the same way that card from Dominaria was not bad. You could absolutely play it. It just ended up being an easy cut. If you were stacked with playables, you'd end up not playing it because it's like, I need to make some cuts here. This is spinning wheels a little bit. I don't need to spend time spinning this. So that's what I was talking about, Fenor. I estimate 20%, right? It's not about opening hand. It's about first spell. And I think if it's your 8th, if you have it in your top 8 or 9 cards, you're going to it's going to be your first spell. But that's why. I mean, you can take it, like, we don't need to take it here. We can take it for the memes here, but we don't need, this is also, given that this is our backup account, we don't need to be gem conscious at all, really, on the on that front. Thank you for the sub. We do have 4 though, so this is gems for this account, and that is the point of this account. The point of this account is to have funds to draft with, so we could take it for the playable gems. So I am going to take it because it is playable, if not great, and it's and the gems are worth it for this account. Even we don't have to rare draft, but when we have the naked gems right there, it's straight up 20. We already have 4 of these. Yeah, Mike frames it as green anticipate that looks 1 deeper, except that's a little bit overselling, Mike, because anticipate literally finds anything, and once does not find that removal spell unless you've got yourself a murderous rider. You know, you're not going to get baked into a pie with this, whereas you know, the blue versions of this effect allow you to get everything, you know. All right, so we could take the mill deck. We can take Archon, Happily Ever After, just to see if we have... No, we have none of those. So this is not really a gem consideration because we'd have to spend 4 of our rare wild cards to make it gems, so that's not even worth that. Yeah, if this were gems, you could make the argument, but it's not. It's actually 4 wild cards in order to get gems here. I'm going to take Archon. Yeah, I think Archon's the most appealing card here. Wow, this is not a great pack. There's a prized Griffin, which feels a little early. We'll probably wheel this. I've never been into the Intruder. I don't think it's good as a 1/2, and expecting to cast it as a 7 mana make 3 creatures spell is not particularly great. We could take Tracker, which probably wheels. We take Tracker, wheel wet red cap. That's another thing that could happen here. I think we take Tracker, not because of the Once Upon a Time, but because literally it may be the best card here. I mean, I don't quite want a Griffin yet. Merchant, another reasonable option, I suppose. I've been a little bit more down on the Merchant than a lot of others have. Yeah, we could take... It almost doesn't matter. I think we take Griffin and wheel the Tracker, or take Tracker and wheel the Griffin. But... the 5 Tracker deck is a lot more impressive than the 5 Griffin deck. So given that I'm expecting to wheel either one, I'm going to start on the Tracker and see if we wheel the Griffin. Because I'll take a ton of Trackers, but there's only so many Griffins that I would want in a deck. We could take Inspiring Veteran here and know that the bots are generally going to hook us up with white and red. Abandon these 2, work with the Archon, and head towards a possible white-red Knight deck. The You could argue that Venerable Knight is a safer play. It's just a single white. It could go in this and this, but I think Fenrir says if we're considering the veteran, we should take. Do you mean Fireborn or Venerable? Well, I think Inspiring Veteran is a more important card to the red-white Knight deck than Fireborn Knight is, actually. I'll pull it. We'll see what others think. Fireborn or Veteran? I do think that's the pick here. It's this or this. I don't like the Venerable, but this has the flexibility of being mono white as well as red white. So there is that added flexibility of a possible mono white deck with Fireborn. Yeah. All right. Chat mostly agrees with me on this. Maybe I influenced the vote with my soapboxing on the topic, but I do believe the veteran's the right hedge here, the right spec, you might say. Certainly not guaranteed, but it's an interesting option. Wow, Venerable Knight or Trebuchet. Now I'm a little more interested in the Venerable Knight with the Inspiring Veteran, because the turn 1 Venerable Knight into turn 2 Inspiring Veteran is pretty hot. Don't like the Trebuchet, huh? I'm a pretty big fan. But here we're obviously going to rock some rims over Scaldron and Outflank. And I think we're drifting quickly from green, and we're seeing why the meta is what it is now and why people want human drafting so badly. We're going to take another Rimrock and pass the Guide Mother and the Merchant and the Dummy. But Rimrock too good. Scaldron, Flutterfox, Knight, or Barge. Look at this. We are so in the... We listened. We're listening. But yeah, I mean... Hey, shocker, everybody. We tried to do something other than red or white and still got pushed into red or white. Yeah, probably Flutterfox, right? 2-drop. Keep the aggro going. Narrowly over the Scaldron. Or Bargain awfully good too, though. Yeah, you could look at Selesnya. If we took Selesnya, then we're giving up Rimrock and Inspiring Veteran. 2 Rimrocks and a Veteran just to have Wandermare. I don't think that's worth it. It's Barge or Fox, yeah. I don't want to be left without Bargains, but you can have a glut of them, whereas I'll take kind of as many Foxes as I'll get. So I'm going to take the Fox. We could end up regretting it, but statistically, we are more likely to want to play, 3 Foxes and 2 Bargains rather than 3 Bargains and 2 Foxes or whatever. So we'll start on Fox. Wish this was a Scaldron. Instead, we'll take a Blood Haze that we hope not to play. I do have some love for Scaldron, but not enough to take it there. Another interesting pick here. Here's that first Bargain we could grab, but Ogre Errant is absolutely real here. We are kind of working on a Knight deck. Like, the fact that we have Veteran really pumps, literally and figuratively, the Knight in my estimation. Yeah, love to pick up a Ritual, love to pick up a Bargain, love to pick up an Errant. That's what makes this tough. Maybe I'll pull it again. I don't think it's Ritual, though. I think it's Barge or it's Ogre. And I'm leaning Ogre, but you could convince me this is a time to pick up Barge before it's too late. Like, we really want to make sure we have a Barge here. But the Ogre with the Veteran is hot sauce, man. $15 for Ogre. I've gone with the no 4-drop Boros, you know, and it hasn't actually worked out great for me. I don't necessarily have the sample size, but it's not been obviously great. We'll take drawbridge here over anything else, over Vault Progress or whatever. Here's a ritual, free ritual. And free fortifying, but I'll take this Signpost Scarecrow as more likely to see play for us than... I'll take it, put it in the board, though. I don't think we're going to play it. Here's removal I want. And we're going to take that over the Serpent. I don't think we're even on gems. Yeah, we're 0-4 on Serpents anyway. So easy Dragonfire here. Maybe we wheel Scaldron, Guide Mother, or Outflank, or Ogre Errant. Another 2 Ogre Errants is interesting. A lot of good stuff to wheel. Yeah, great rare, but not for our deck. So see ya, great rare. Jousting Dummy or Outflank. I think both wheel. So I'm gonna take Outflank and wheel the dummy. Again, I'm not super high on Merchant. If this dude were a knight, I'd be in, but you don't see many Merchant knights. I'm gonna take Outflank and wheel a Jousting Dummy. Red cap over Guide Mother. Try and wheel the Guide Mother. Another interesting one, I think we wheel the Barge in here. It's pick 4, so not guaranteed. But I think even a red bot would take Paladin over Bargain. I don't think the bots value Bargain. So one thing to think about with wheeling stuff is there a blocker in the pack? Like, and there is here. The Bargain is likely to be here. Well, Paladin is not. Gems, let's check the status. We have 0 of those on this account. So to get gems out of return, we would need to spend 4 wild cards, and I don't want to do that. So we're on Shepherd, Brute, and Bargain, depending on what we want to try and wheel. I think we should try and wheel the Bargain or the Brute. And I think I want the Shepherd. Yeah, we'll take Shepherd. You can do some stuff with this. Bounce a Rimrock that's blocked and turn it back into Boulder Rush, for example. It's something I love to do with Shep. I think we're in another one of those decks where we don't necessarily have the big knights to make Joust good, but it's probably our pick here over Ferocity or another Silver Flame. We're likely to end up with some humans here beyond our Veteran and Venerable, so I think I like Joust over Ferocity. We'll see if it's good enough to play, but I think it's the pick there. We could grab this Lance and try and splash black, but then we would need like eggs and stuff, and that's not going to really happen. I think we just make the grown-up pick with the Silver Flame Squire here. But goodbye, Lance. We hardly knew you. Pick 7. We could take another Ogre, but I think we're going to get another chance at this on the wheel, and we have a 1-drop Knight we can take instead. So let's go with the 1-drop Knight. Keep it low down. Especially, again, we have Weaselback and Venerable into Inspiring, which is a nice early sequence. And we don't have any 3s yet. I guess you, in a lot of ways, I consider Silver Flame Squire a 3, but let's keep that in mind. That we're pretty low on. These Rimrocks can be a 3 as well, if you have 1 red. So this is one way we can look at the curve right now. But we're going to take Weaselback and try and get another Ogre later. Here I like a pretty easy Raging over any of this stuff. Raging Redcap and Rimrock are best buds. All right, here's the wheel, and the Ogre did come around. Was there another thing, or is that the next pack we were expecting? Yeah, here's where oh, it is pick 4. So we've got like a couple more to see if we wield that Barge. A couple picks away from whether we wield the Barge or not. Yeah, this is best of 3. We can start picking up True Love's Kisses more, but I think with the Knight theme, we definitely want a Jousting Dummy. Take another drawbridge we're not going to play. I guess maybe even take a Weapon Rack as some rather than a second drawbridge. And here's where we're hoping for Bargain. Ready? Barge in. Yeah. And look, note the missing red card. I was saying part of why I was confident Barge in would come back is there was a red card to block. A red card that I thought the bots would prioritize higher if they were in red. Another Wolverine, we're probably not going to take him. Let's just throw that in the board. We want Knights at 2 if we can get it. Like, Jousting Dummy is so much better than Wolverine for our deck. I'm sorry, I cannot give you a Shield Breaker in this pack, but I can give you a pretty bomby Mythic. What are we doing on... Got 0-4. Might go ahead and convert 4 Mythics to get some gems out of this, too. Oh, you guys think every this is fine in every deck. I know we're an aggro deck, but I'd still run this. Well, I'll pull it. We don't have to worry about gems here, so if you want to take the Archon, we can. I don't know if Archon is more responsible. Keep in mind that this is limited. Yes, destroying all creatures seems like a non-bow for an aggro deck, but we're all control sometimes in limited, and this is not a replaceable effect. You can't get this anywhere else in the format. Not really. So an irreplaceable effect that is somewhat of a non-bow with your intended strategy can still be quite powerful if it gets you out of scrapes that no other card in the format can get you out of. But I totally get the second Archon. I wonder if I would be swayed if this were a knight of some kind. If Archon of Absolution were like a knight riding a spirit or whatever, you know? Yeah, I'm going to take Giant. And here I actually think I like Tactician over Sir Alan. What do you think? This maybe let's look at Curve and vote this one. Another poll one. Sorry, but this is an interesting pick. Tactician versus Sir. So powerful, but 5 mana, and also so powerful, but has 2 modes. Can do something at 2. We have no natural 3s. This becomes a natural 3 for that slot. It's SYR, box pun, but I'll keep your vote in mind if you don't get another one in. Yeah, interesting. I was on Tactician, but thought, you know, Sir Alan's pretty powerful, especially as a way to make these low drops shine. You know, Alan plus Inspiring Veteran is double Lord. That's pretty good. But yeah, we might not even go to 5 if we can help it. So let's take Tactician and see where it goes. But I think we're going to play Realm Cloaked. So yes, our curve goes to 5. I'm not going to not play the Realm Cloaked Giant. I'll take a Youthful Knight over this Joust. The Joust might wheel, and as we've observed, it can be hard to use in a small Knight type deck. Rock a Rim, Red Cap, Fluttering Fox. I think we're just Rim Rocking. It probably wheels, but I think we take the Rim Rock and then accept whether we get Raging or Fire Flutter Fox. There's not gonna be a lot. There's like 3 or 4 cards left in the pack, but there's enough density in our colors that I think we'll get one of these. Probably just a Bartered Cow or something dumb though. Not in mono red. I'm much more interested in this dude. In even Boros, not a priority for me at all. No. Here we go. We get a Fireborn Knight after all, and sadly we're going to leave all this stuff, but I think it's worth it for the Fireborn here. Another Rocker of the Rims. Yes, please. We're just going to rock rims all day. And hoping for like maybe even a Gingerbrew is more important than a 4th Rim Rock. Like I really want to be able to rock rims on turn 2. And although it doesn't get the Inspiring Veteran bump, nah, I can't pass a Rim Rock. Whatever. I'm going to take that. Take another Flutter Fox. Here's a Paladin. I would get behind, but then I saw the Ginger Brute. Ginger Brute's more what I want to be doing here. This is actually tougher. Ginger Brute versus an on-theme jousting dummy. By adding a Ginger Brute, we would have 4 turn 1 plays to set up 4, possibly 4 turn 2 Rimrockings. Yeah, I don't want that 3 though. If you think of Rimrocks as 3s and Squire is 3, sorry, Rimrock and Squire is 3s, we start to look a lot better at 3. This is best of 3. Well, you can say dummy for knight, but obviously Ginger Brute works with the foxes just as well as the dummy. I'm going to go with the 1-drop. Veteran and Joust are the only combos, and I want to reliably be giving things +2, +0 on turn 2 if I can do it. Here we can take a Dwarf or the Unicorn. Maybe this is the time for Unicorn. We don't have any other Dwarves. I don't think we're playing the Bloodhaze or the Dwarf. Or the Drawbridge, really. Like, let's get real about what we're playing and see what this deck actually needs. And we're already making cuts, and we're already cutting good cards, so this is going to be tough anyway. Because something's got to give, man. Krauser, what are you cutting? We're at 28 cards. We need to cut 3 or 4, or 2 or 4. Yeah, 4 or 5 is what I meant to say. Yeah, probably not playing either. I will take the possible Knight. And here we have another Joust opportunity. Probably not playing that. I'm not going to play a 3rd Ogre Errant, so I don't think this is an important card for us right now. So I'll take the Joust. Maybe we decide... yeah, exactly. We are best of 3, so we can pull that to the board and decide in... oh, this matchup, they're playing a bunch of small stuff too. Suddenly these Jousts are a lot better. All right, I think we take a Barge in here. This is an opportunity for yet another 1-drop Knight. So there is that. But Barge in, I think, is more interaction. I think we should take the Barge in. Yeah, I'm going to do that. We got a red cap anyway. Man, we got cuts. Oh, here, I will... Like, we're not doing anything with this account other than playing limited on it, so I am going to model... I'm going to do this. Ideally, you do this when you have more than 0 of a card. But I'm going to craft 4, get ourselves some gems out of this. $60 on the grind. I'm going to go start my spreadsheet entry, so don't forget. Unpaid. Oh, this is free-to-play 2. Traditional draft Eldraine. We're going to be white-red, it looks like. Yes, and we paid gold. No, we can't pay gold. This is best of 3. We paid 1,500 and we got 60 on the grind right now. This is on the air. Yeah, I have a column called Gem Grind, and I drop the 60 gems into the Gem Grind column. I'm I'm very, very good about logging Gem Grind for the free-to-play account. I am terrible about logging Gem Grind for the paid account, and I'm pretty good about logging Gem Grind for this account. Yeah, this has been pretty bad for bots. This is really, this set has really exposed the bot issues. Maybe we do cut the Realm Cloak Maybe you Archon folks had a point, because I don't know if we want to, we got to make some serious cuts here, and I kind of just want to zoom in on, like, we maybe even start this in the board with our, that is best of 3, and we have good removal. Do that. Probably even want to cut a 4. Maybe we cut one of the Ogre Errants. It's probably worth a slot, I guess, but we gotta cut something. Cut the Joust then. We had a ton of creatures, 22, so kind of just figuring out what creatures don't matter to us as much here. You like giving up a knight over a 2/2 possible flyer? Dummy. Yeah, we could cut a brute, I guess. That does lower our fox effectiveness. Just want to cut all of them. What does that look like? And then we bring back, okay, what is, this makes, we do something like that, and we're still at 14 knights. Well, we're just looking at stuff. I mean, I think something's got to give. That's the thing. Oh yeah, there's plenty of situations where the giant is good. That's the problem. Magic is hard. But we put in giant, makes me want to put back in 17 land. Is it possible we're supposed to cut a Rimrock and just have a Flutterfox, something more generic at 2? I don't think I want 2 Jousts in, and I think this Ritual is a great top end for this deck, actually. Might just start here. Let's play, see how this goes, and then adjust. We'll give it one match and then come on back. I want to get playing, so let's start here and see how it plays out. We'll call this Uncloaked. I think we can risk 1 Joust. It goes, decently even on a red cap where it becomes a 3/3, kills something 2/3 or smaller, and then well, Krauser, what do they say on Star Trek? Do they say decloak or uncloaked? I was trying to make kind of a Star Trek joke, cloaking device type thing. Okay, if Star Trek says decloaked, that's what I'm going for, so you can do that. Okay. All right, let's give it a shot. Don't know if this build is perfect. There's a lot of arguments to be made for different cards, but we are trying to entertain here, and staring at your last handful of picks gets severely diminishing returns on the entertainment value. Rob says, hold on. What, Rob? What? I'm holding for Rob. Maybe he just is going to get a sandwich. Doesn't want us to start without him. Decloak is the... All right. I'm not going to hold on for that, Rob. You can continue to debate cloaking terminology without throwing up a hold on. All right, we definitely want to win the draw, so glad that happened. And this looks exactly like what I was hoping for. Like, exactly. This is fantastic. Unfortunately, gonna have to... So I want to open on the biggest creature on a 2/1 over a 1/1. But if we open on Plains Venerable, what is next turn? Next turn becomes Mountain. We can only do one thing. Whereas if we go Mountain, Red Cap... Next turn we have Plains, Venerable Knight, Rimrock, the Red Cap. So that's why I'm playing the technically weaker creature. We did draw another mountain, so it would have worked out, but we didn't know we were, so that's why I did it that way. And now I'm going to offer up this Red Cap. I don't think they're going to take the trade, and if they do, or if they make the block, we have Barge in. So we're going to Rimrock, though. Get this value on. Trail of Crumbs is an excellent card. We're just going to try and race it. We're going to try and make it so that they don't have time to effectively leverage the advantage that can be gained from this card. And here we get a Barge in and hardcast a Rimrock, or Rimrock Barge in if we feel necessary. But we're going to Barge in here. Okay, if they're going to do that, I'm going to actually just play the Red Cap. I figured they'd block. But if they're not blocking, let's drop a Red Cap, and then we have Barge in, Rimrock next turn with a Red Cap in play, which seems even better. Yeah, Mike, Swing All was clear, but if they blocked, I was ready to Barge in and play the Rimrock, but they decided to not block, so yeah, they're going for this, basically trying to mitigate the aggression through some food, eating some food and card advantage via Trail. But I don't think they have time to spin those wheels, especially with this hand, because we're going to go Barge in Rimrock on Raging, and it's going to be obscene. Oh, and now we have Joust. Let's go Joust on Red Cap for the tracker, and then Barge, and then Rimrock for nearly lethal. Maybe lethal? I don't know. We'll find out. Here's how much damage we're doing. Not a bad turn 3 on the play. Or turn 4, sorry, turn 4. We didn't have a 4th land drop. Yeah, it's not going to do it for you, buddy. So we didn't see anything to suggest anything other than mono green here. They might have a second color they haven't found. It could be a spot where they're, you know, where they didn't find their second color. But we can see, seems very heavy green, if not mono green. They know we have those cards. There's literally nothing that Oppo is going to do differently because of that. Yeah, exactly. It does not matter that they saw Barge in. People know that Barge in is in these decks. In fact, now we side out the Barge ins and have Oppo play around Barge ins the whole time. See? Yeah, I had to do something there, right? A straight up block wasn't a win. Oh yeah, pump the 1-drop. Yeah, yeah. That's the way to win without showing it. It doesn't matter, people. Let it go. What are we doing, though, against mono green? Not bringing in the second Joust. If anything, I would take out the first, although they showed some early drops that the Joust could be effective against. We don't have a Kiss to consider bringing in. Yeah, we could bring in, maybe this is a giant matchup. In case they have a bunch of big stuff. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Well, because one of the reasons why Kruzica is we're on the draw now. So that's where Giant does get a little better, but I'm fine with just sending it back. Yeah, Jikerman, one of the fundamental questions in sideboarding or dangers in sideboarding is that you sideboard so heavily towards answering what your opponent is doing that you lose sight of effectively executing your own strategy. And not that one change would necessarily do that, but that's one thing to consider there. I can't keep this. We have Venerable Knight on 1, but this is such a demanding red hand. Obviously, we'd be much happier if this were 2 mountains and all this red. But I think we can't keep this. Here, though, we can keep and decide whether we get rid of something like the outflank or land. I think I'm going to be a grown-up and get rid of the outflank and keep our creature presence. Some interaction with Rimrock. We could also maybe cut the Rimrock, but Rimrock plus Shepherd is interesting, and maybe we'll find some other stuff. Turn 1 tracker again from Oppo. I guess we'll start with the plains. Doesn't matter too much. Other than it telegraphs that I have it. I don't think there's... Is there anything else in the set that produces a pause on an empty board for 1 white? Not that their board is empty. Oppo on the front foot here. We can drop Shepherd and look to trade. We could drop Squire and look to trade, but if they find a non-human, we don't get to do that. So I'm going to say low value Shepherd play, but we get a 3/1 that can threaten to trade with an equipped tracker, which is pretty good, because it even threatens to trade with an equipped tracker if they play a non-human here. I'm going to try it. I can't do it. We've... All right, this is more science. So we had some garbled ones and some not garbled ones. I'm going to risk it once. And then if this doesn't work, this is the last time we're trying this today. Garbled? Huh. I don't know what's causing garbling sometimes and not others, but I'm glad I tried then. All right, so now what? I think we start rocking rims. Between the Bargain and the Silverflame Squire, a natural Rimrock should be... We got Rock, Barge, and On Alert all ready to help make this a real threat. And even... Wow, I'm very surprised they must have a big creature here. I don't know why they would attack with a Curious Pair with the Rimrock around. Wow, all right. I don't understand their priorities. But I'm going to attack, and if they just take it, great. We play Archon. If they do anything, we get to respond with our tricks. Fool Auto says, did you ever find a program you liked to use for soundboard, video board? I have a couple on the list that are on my to-do list to explore, but my to-do list is long and constantly shifting in priorities, and it's a little below the surface of the old to-do list right now. All right, 3-4 is perfect for us, given this hand, because we're going to telegraph and they're going to block, but we have Barge in and Silver Flame, and we're going to hit them pretty hard. It's somewhat of a 2-for-1. Like, we're barging 1.5 for 1 because we're going to use up on alert, but it'll be totally worth it. They've just spent 5 mana to equip that Curious Pair, and they're compelled to block. They can't just do that and then not use it to block. So even though they're probably sweating / expecting this kind of move, they really couldn't do anything about it. They had to try. If we draw a land, we get to go Squire, activate Boulder Rush, play Rimrock, and then next turn Silver Flame. So kind of hoping for a land here. All right, we even got it. Coming up, Super Millhouse. So I'm going to do it this way. We're going to go... stop that. Oh, we can't do it... Guess we don't get to... If we don't Silver Flame this turn, we don't get to attack with Rimrock this turn. But I think I like this line. We'll set up for an Amazing Ritual next turn. Fezzik! Yeah, I didn't notice our opponent was Princess Bride. Yeah, we're going to attack with Archon for 5 and dump our hand and then have an Amazing Silver Flame Ritual next turn. I don't need to do this now, but it also doesn't matter. They're tapped out. All right, we got the green deck eating defensive food. If they go eat, Curious Pair, that's a great turn for us. What other daily quests are you dodging, Craig? What are you trying to not do? Okay, but nothing else, just colors. The other ones are only colors. Well, I wouldn't say that mono white is any kind of major player in the format, but you could throw together a white knight deck and it should be all right. And then if you play it in the if you're just looking to grind gold, Craig, and you can also take your underpowered, not tier 1 quest-based standard deck into the unranked play queues, and you'll get a better matchup. You'll find other people who are playing cards of a similar power level. Well, Oppo gets 3 a turn now off Goose. Is that going to be enough? Nothing they have on board can kill anything we're doing. They might have been better off spending their turn equipping a halberd. Be nice if we could get something other than land. Yeah, it's true. You could. Can you complete quests off of historic play? I forget what their rules for historic play are. maybe it's you can get quests but not win bonuses. I forget. Something is restricted. Something about Historic says you can't grind. And I remember thinking, okay, that's fair. All right, well, let's take a look. We got our first win. I'm going to make a note of that, and we can revisit the deck. I think you see it doing what we want it to do. Yeah, so if you have a very, very fresh account, Craig, and you're trying not to spend on it, I would go for, here's what I would do if I were Craig, to take a little side journey. We're gonna make a new deck. We're gonna look at white creatures, start here. And we're gonna make a standard deck. And then I would just start, oh, it reset, unfortunately, my other filters. I want creatures and white. So then I would just start looking at hyper aggro, cheap creatures, like maybe, or what do they work with in, some of these precons have things like Pridemate. So you can make a pretty good Pridemate Healer's Hawk. Like throw a Guide Mother here. Oh, here I have 4 of these Pridemates. Let's do these. Impassioned Orator. So now I'm suddenly like making okay, it's kind of a life gain deck. Sure. Maybe I'll run Fencing Aces and some Pump Tricks, or it doesn't have to be amazing. You don't have to create the best deck of all time if you're just grinding a specific thing. Like if it's cast white spells, I like making a cheap aggro white deck because, and if we take creatures off, one thing you can do is search for, I like searching for +1. Oops, sorry, that's not a real thing. +1. So this is showing things that put +1/+1 around. Oh, say we'd run some Venerable Knights in this aggro deck, so maybe we're playing with a +1/+1. I want to find Lord stuff, right? And you can find it at low rarity. Like I have Unbreakable Formation, but even here, if we look, to be fair with things, let's look at like commons and uncommons only. So these are more likely for Craig to have. I'm looking for things that common and uncommon that pump my whole team, basically. So you could maybe make so Silverflame Ritual. We just had it in our deck, right? So we put some of these in, and maybe an Inspired Charge. You can win some games on Arena with every cheap white drop you have and 4 Inspired Charges. And hopefully, Craig, you have some wild cards. Do you have any common and uncommon wild cards? Because you could just use them to fill out the deck. But anyway, that's what I like to do if I'm looking at trying to dodge other colors, make a white quest deck that can still actually win. I just go hyper aggro on the cheap stuff and throw in some common and uncommon, pump the teams, and you have a deck that can win. It'll win, and it'll win or lose quickly. So that's the thing. Even if it wins 35% of the time, you'll get your grinding done pretty quickly because those games are going to take 2-3 minutes. Yes, and you can also ride the edge. Like if you've got this 500 red-blue quest that you're trying to avoid, well, it requires 25 spells. You could play a white-red deck, and you'd need to cast 25 red spells before you even failed. So you could also make a Boros aggro deck and just switch to mono white when you're right up against the edge, right? All right, back to it though. Thanks for patience during the aside. Hopefully that helps Craig. All right, on the play again. Nice. And a very keepable hand. Getting lucky on these 1-drops. We cut our Ginger Brutes, despite them working very well with the Rimrock on 2 plan. I have made a land deck that has no intention of winning. It just tries to put as many lands in play as possible for quest completion. But you get in some weird decisions in that way. They're 1 turn off of being able to activate Scaldron. What I want to do is get some tempting targets out here. And then have Shepherd for their activation of Cauldron, which they're probably going to need to do. Well, they have red, so maybe they can burn us out instead. Yeah, if they have a burn spell for the Youthful Knight, that's pretty good. Okay, if they're thrilling, that's excellent for us. So we are going to here... Well, we could Rimrock. Yeah, I'm going to Rimrock, and then we still have Shepherd up. Yeah, we could Pump, too. I guess Pump gives us the same amount of damage without using a spell. It does set us up to actually cast this, so I think you're right, that we just Pump. Pump, leave the spell in hand. Same damage. Same availability of the Shepherd saving. Sorry, let me do this. Interesting, they're not going for the Cauldron play. I guess they feel like Monitor solves these both without having to resort to the Cauldron, but we're going to take out the Monitor with the Barge in. Some thought, but in this case, I like getting that damage there. I think it's a really tough one when to cast Rimrock as without the Boulder Rush. Maybe that was a spot for it, but I liked that plan. Oh, man. Well, they're both Knights, so I'm going to go ahead with Veteran. It gets them both through. I was saying, oh, man, because we didn't have quite the mana to do Barge in plus Veteran, but we still have Veteran plus Shepherd, and both our creatures are pumped. Yeah, they've got a single red, which we know can mean... But given that they're a blue-red draw deck, I'm pretty sure what they have in their hand here is the Merchant. I think it's Merchant, not damage. We'll certainly find out, because if they have 4 damage to a red creature without any penalty, they're going to use it on the Veteran right now. Or try to. Oh, wow, it was that. What do you know? All right, well, the problem is we're going to save and they still get to eat. I was totally playing around Merchant, given their deck, but they had it. We're going to save the Veteran, though. So they get to eat a Youthful Knight. That's too bad. Now, if we play the Veteran out, I bet they have the Cauldron earmarked for it. And that could be trouble for us, but actually I like the tools we have to manage that. We can go Veteran here, but then it's we got to cast a red spell a turn. We can't go, we could go Shepherd plus Rimrock or Barge in. Barge in doesn't get it done. So we are just playing 1 red spell this turn, and I guess it should be the Veteran. Yeah. We did play 16 land, so on some level this is us getting our comeuppance. Trouble with playing the Veteran is now they just use the Cauldron on it, and we don't have much of a means to do anything about that, but we do have Fireborn Knight that if it lives, should be able to help us through this revenge. I mean, what could I have given them? I guess I could have given them Shepherd. Well, I'm surprised they let me untap. Now if they let me attack, we actually have Barge in to protect against Cauldron. Let's see if they let us attack. Had to do something, Robert, and at least if we attract the Cauldron to the Veteran, we get Fireborn Knight unmolested by Cauldron, which is a really nice upside. Let's see. We do this. We save it. They still get to kill the Veteran, though. But we trade Veteran and Barge in for Cauldron and Monitor, and that's okay. And we still get to play the Shepherd, so we have a creature we can play out after. That's if it resolves. I mean, they may have another spell to punish us. Fairy Vandal. If that goes for a block, we're just going to outflank it. Let's see what happens here. Now let's see what they can do with that. Corridor Monitor, I'm not scared of on this situation. It's not great. It's pretty good against us. Corridor Monitor is really actually quite nice in this meta, if you think about it. And we are out of toughness pumping and out of mana, so we're kind of up against it. We could pump... Basically, we can 2-for-1 ourselves against this Monitor. So I think I'm going to attack with everything, and we're going to give up a Rimrock for the Corridor, or Rimrock and one of these two creatures for the Corridor Monitor, and then we have outflank for the Vandal. Hopefully they don't have Opt. I guess Opt wouldn't even do it. Okay. Got to use the tools we have here. Outflank plus pump on the red cap gets it done. And we could Rimrock outflank if we want to get the Rimrock going. Yeah, I guess we just do this. If they find some action for this Improbable Alliance, we're in trouble. And trouble is because they can make kind of start a steady stream of 1/1s here. They're very good against our non-Fireborn cards, which is why we want a land and Fireborn Knight to survive. Then we should be in good shape. But if we are going to be reliant on 1 toughness creatures against the Improbable Alliance deck, we're in trouble. And it could be rough inside. You know, like this is a real problem card for us. It just... How many of our cards are 1 toughness? It's like most of our creatures. All right, there's our 4th land. And no Barge in, so that would just be a trade. I don't want to do that. I'm going to go with Fireborn. They could have Didn't Say Please here even, but we have to try. I'm not going to not play this. And I'm not going to send in to the Revenge just to trade off with the Blood Haze. I'll wait until we have a two creature attack. Better options. Yeah, exactly. Quarter Monitor in the heavy red Knight deck world is quite strong. But then you're in blue trying to fight for blue in a world where blue is being valued highly by the bots. All right, all right, all right. That's super interesting. They do have the draw to make the creature. Let's see. I think I might need to go into full control. And we tap. And rock. We still end up giving... No, I guess we tap their ones, and then they have to give up like a Vandal if they want to block the Shepherd. Sure. So let's go full control. Expect them to crack that well before blockers. Well, not with Rimrock. And we're gonna... So let's see. This happens. This happens. And then... Tactician says, you don't get to use these dudes. You gotta block with the Vandal if you're gonna block, and if you do, no matter what, we're gonna Rimrock the Fireborn. Too bad we didn't have more red. We could have double Rimrocked and just kind of won the game. I mean, it really came down to that. Second mountain, the game's already over. They may have blocked differently if we had two mountains, that's true, but probably not. Looks like they were just taking the chance. I didn't notice their scry. Does anybody remember if they topped anything on that scry? Curious what known card quality might be in their hands, but I failed to catch that. Bottom, good. Yeah, Ravens is pretty good in the meta again. You're late, Mountain. So late. But now with a Mountain, we get a Rimrock, we get a Boulder Rush plus Fireborn Knight Pump. No, no Trample. And we can't really send our 1 toughnesses into these this army of dudes anymore. And they're in a pretty good spot where they chump and gain. Like, they can just chump and gain every turn. So we don't have an obvious means to get there, to the point that maybe I just build out the board a little bit here. And we go Tactician, Rimrock. And try and get around it. Or is there... We don't really have... We have Scorching Dragonfire. We have Joust. Silverflame Ritual. We have another Barge in. We have the melee. So we have some tools, but this Vandal's getting out of hand. Yeah, I'm trying to find a plan, Bando. And really, I don't have one, which means maybe we're on the road to death, but it certainly felt like that was like we need to dump our hand before we try to get wide enough. All right, that hurts obviously quite badly. Now I don't know what we do. No, we don't have a Searing Barrage. That is not true. Oh, sorry, I thought you said you do have. No, we don't have a Searing Barrage. If I had one, I would have said so. I just looked through our whole library. Yeah, and with them dumping their hand and now us getting land when we don't need it, I think we're largely dead, but we'll keep wide here. I'm going to save the Rimrock, though, because, again, I think our one chance of victory is barge in, finding some trampoline. Barge in plus Rimrock. So, yeah, I hate that we're losing to this, but we're losing to this. This has happened to me before. Improbable Alliance is actually nuts against the Boros deck in this format. It's really... Again, we're just so filled with one toughness that this is almost impossible to beat once it creates a couple of tokens. Well, interesting. I think our chance at winning is basically coming down to a barge in with bad blocks from Oppo, but it's a plan. I've in fact already told you we do not. Maybe not you. I've already told chat, but perhaps you were not here to catch that. Nah, if they get greedy here and attack with a Vandal, I think we can find a barge off the top, and if they attack wrong, we can win. Or if they block wrong, we could win. I don't think this is a scoop yet. We can give Oppo a chance to screw up still. All right, does that do anything for us? Unfortunately, not really. What can we do? See, nothing has trample is the problem. We didn't get any way to trample. So I think we can scoop it up now. That was kind of our last chance to draw something to break through here. I don't know if this is a reason to bring in Giant. This is just how this game played out. I'm more tempted to want to bring in, like, kind of de-knight it a little bit and go with more Gingerbrute Flutterfox so that the army of... I think we need Gingerbrutes. And we'll cut... Are we cutting for that? Foxes at least block some 2/2s in the air is true. I wasn't thinking we actually needed the foxes themselves. Generally, one toughness... generally, the ability to strongly block one toughness creatures was key, but I think it's not just the quarter monitors, it's the 1/1s. And I think we take a red cap out. We could take a weapon rack out as a way to, or put a weapon rack in as a way to defeat them. But we just have ritual for that. Ritual is weapon rack, but better. If we go fox, if we even go cut the shepherd, cut one rimrock, cut joust. No, I don't think so. I'm gonna go with this. Yeah, I'm gonna stay at 16 because we just switched around some low drops. Well, no red yet, but we certainly have our brutes. I actually think I'm gonna keep this. We brought these in to do this job. Yeah, I could take Youthful Knight out, but the thing is it has first strike, so you actually get to combo it with things like Dragonfire and other stuff to I'm going to keep this. It's a risky keep, but we sided in the Ginger Brutes for a reason. We have them both. We have them on turn 1. Let's see if the Ginger Brutes can get there. Yeah, Rimrocks are the Rimrock plus Youthful is how we get through corridor monitors, right? Well, deck, we have a request. And they seem to have a red cap damage spell of their own. That's what I'm thinking the pause is, and that's what I'm thinking the declining of using any removal here, unless we see maybe they cycle a merchant there. If there was a merchant cycle, that would be it. But I think we know we're playing around this now. And this is the worst card for us to see on turn 2. Mountain on top, though, and we can get this done. But we need some help. Come on. All right, mountain on top. I got to show we can get it done now. Giving them a target if they want for their red cap, but I'm fine with that. If they want to do that, go for it. I think they're going to play something to draw a card here. They're going to get their alliance to work right away. I don't like Oppo's deck, but turn 2 Improbable Alliance against us is it's just tough. This makes me think they are going to do Thrill. This smacks of Thrill. And one problem... Okay, Thrill uses up their only red mana, though, so then we can barge in safely. So... do we want to use a barge in to deal with one of these tokens? That's the big problem, right? Oh, it's Fairy Vandal. If it's Fairy Vandal... then they do have this, so we have to watch out for the barge in, but then we just scorch the Fairy Vandal in that case. So, let's see what they want to do. But it feels almost certain to be the draw 2, discard 2. Yeah, you know, they took the risk. Let's see, so I am going to barge... There's no need to activate any Ginger Brute. If they want to block a Ginger Brute, we'll just barge on the Ginger Brute. Everything we have gets trample anyway, so it doesn't matter. We're probably going to barge and pump the red cap once. Nah, no need to, like, because if we make them unblockable, they block the red cap. If we don't make them unblockable, maybe they block the Ginger Brute. But the end result is the same. We're going to barge in. So might as well not spend mana for the same end result. Nice. We can pick that off with Scorching. And they're spending premium removal on the Ginger Brute, so good job us bringing in those. Wow. Press the advantage, Scorch, and attack for 4. Or Ogre Errant, pass, leave them at 9. I think press the advantage, attack for 4, then we Ogre next turn. If we draw a land, we get to Ogre and make Ginger Brute unblockable. Or we get Ogre plus 4 damage. If we draw a land, that's good too. Just might not be good against Improbable Alliance. Which, if we make it to game 3, you know, you could leave on the bottom of your library there, Oppo. Maybe they have 2 of them or 3 of them or something, though. Huh. I guess it's not this. What do you think? What do you think that turn 1 pause was on a single red then? I'm confused. Maybe they... I don't know what they did. But we're going to send in here, drop the Ogre, and have red cap up. No, it paused on their end step, I thought. That's why I think it was not barge in. Oh, they did have it. That's weird. Okay. I would have thought they would have used this before this. That's all. But it was that. All right. I mean, it was a red creature. I would have understood if it was, you know, if it was not a red creature, but they used Slaying Fire on a red creature before they used red cap, which seemed weird. That's true. They couldn't have killed the fire with the or the ogre with the fire, so they were using the least amount of damage. I think of this as a. I was thinking of this somewhat as a 4 damage spell. When you're right that it's not for them. Target acquired. Oh, little Ginger Brute, may you survive for 3 more attacks without any life gain from Hoppo. Rimrock off the top would be sweet. I guess we don't even need to cap the dragon right now. I'm just going to hold it. I don't want to let this dragon attack, but we don't need to use removal on it right now. Yeah, sometimes that's what that means. They're rolling over their cards a lot. They're anxious to do the thing that kills the brute or whatever. We know that they did a rummage, and had 2 colors of their mana down, so maybe they drew something out of their rummage that's gonna save their game. But we're gonna make them have it. I suppose I still should have just red capped during my turn. There was no need to let him untap. It doesn't really do anything for us. In fact, I'm gonna cap the dragon now before they draw anything that might change equations. Come on. One-time brute. Okay. Still doesn't stop our brute from winning this game. Rimrock. Not Rimrock, but it qualifies for the job we're asking for. Good sideboarding, team. The brutes did, in fact, do the work we wanted them to do. And I think we just send this back now. I think I like everything going on here as the proper choices at 2. This outflank might not be very good in the format here in this matchup. Kind of just want more unblockability in some respects. Like maybe outflank goes and Rimrock comes back in. 2 planes, 2 Gingerbrute keep indeed. Yeah, that's the other thing I was looking at. Shepherd could come in as well. Do that instead. Yeah, like 1 Shepherd, I think. Let's do this. All right. Appa goes first, but we're obviously keeping this. But again, another one of our 1 toughness liabilities. We'll see what happens. Oppo mulliganing. Hopefully they'll pay some kind of cost for their mana base this game. See what they scry. 1 top, 1 bottom from Oppo on the scry. We're going to open on the Venerable Knight and see what they can muster for 2. And hope it's not Improbable Alliance. Come on, don't play a mountain in Improbable Alliance. It's not really fair. All right, Improbable and Jousting Dummy. Much more fair. However, we're going to use a barge in to take out the dummy when we've got all this action around the corner. I really want the barge in for these red caps is the thing. I could play the Rimrock and attack with the Venerable, then if they block, at least the Rimrock becomes a 4/2. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I'm going to save the barge in, but I'm going to offer this trade, and then we'll just take a big Rimrock if they want to make the trade. That's good for us. I don't know what their plan is, but like now barge in plus Rimrock and Raging is nice. And that's where they're like, we got your 1 toughness creatures handled, so we're going to play this. Next turn we get red cap plus barge in, which should be a pretty good attack. But we're going to hold now. What was your thinking, Thymos? They're giving us combat again, which did not work out well for them last time. I'm going to play the mountain. Oh, I see. That's fine. I was just curious if there was a play you saw or something. Trouble is, barge in on our 1 toughnesses doesn't even survive the cauldron. But if they barge in the Venerable, we're kind of okay with that. Or if they kill the Venerable, we're okay with that. So I guess I'm definitely attacking with Raging and Venerable, and then I have questions about whether I'm attacking with the Rimrock. I guess I'll take whatever the Rimrock will give, including a trade with the Tome Raider right now, which is not great. We could also tap and attack. What does that get us? Yeah, I suppose we could have offered Venerable last turn. I was thinking of only wanting to do that when we're attacking with a bunch of stuff here. Let's see if they kill before combat this time. Yeah, they don't want that thing to live. That's understandable. But now I'll offer the Venerable, yes. And we'll go ahead and make a decently big Rimrock. And now I wish... I played the Mountain because I thought we were going to do a bunch of red stuff this turn. But I suppose I could have waited on the land entirely, and then if we had wanted to change our mind this turn about what to do, we could have. But I still want the red cap anyway. There's the Haggle. Maybe it was the Haggle all along. I don't know. But this is what I was expecting from this deck, to be paused on a single red. Flutta, flutta, flutta. Let's go with Fox. And then barge in. And then Tactician next turn to tap down their defenses. We can do Fox and tap now, and then just do barge in next turn. Trying to get barge in for the red cap when their defenses are down. Do we want to do anything this turn? Let's see. So, thing is, they're at 18. It's not a very big attack to do this turn. I think I like Fox, and then if we attack here and make it a 3/4 double strike, they could trade 2 for 2 in that spot. That's pretty good for us. If we attack with Rimrock, they get a straight trade. Yeah. Well, I thought I was. Let's see. Well, if we... I'm trying to... When are we going to tap 2 creatures? We can do it now and get in some extra damage, or we can just wait a turn here. If we swing in, they have decent blocks is one thing. Although, yeah, I guess I'm gonna swing in. I'm gonna swing in. We have the barge in, and then we have tap their next turn. We just are... my reluctance was to give up Rimrock or to give up barge in. Maybe we just accept this trade. Yeah, it does. But it also prevents us from putting barge in on the red cap for big damage. In fact, what I like here is barge in the red cap for tons of damage. Why did I waste a counter? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Like you wanted to get this death counter somewhere else? Is that what you mean by waste a counter? Oh, sure. Yeah. Well, because I'm bad at Magic sometimes. Because I knew they were going to Reeve Soul it. That's why. Yeah, you could have done that too. That's reasonable. In a decent spot here, although they have a double draw they're about to do. I'm going to tap, though. Sure, tap our own. Barging on the Rimrock would have left the Rimrock alive, which is a big point in its favor. It's possible I did the math wrong there. As you see, I'm bad at Magic, so it's quite possible I mispuzzled that one. But my thought was, so we had Rimrock going in for 4. Let's see, if we made that a 6/4, it tramples for 5, 6, 7. No, we got more damage in that turn, but it may have been better to keep the Rimrock alive and be going for more damage here. So that's the key. We definitely got more damage in that turn, but it doesn't make it the correct play. It's possible that I was supposed to leave the 4/2 Rimrock around to do more work on this turn. How about Gingerbrute? Gingerbrute would be a perfect draw. Sure, Oppo, perfect draws for you seem like you totally deserve that. We're just going to draw land while you rip every possible spell you could need to win this game. Sure, I'm not bitter at all. Huh. They did not call my bluff. Yeah. Honestly, I thought the fox was flying. It was a bad bluff. No, it's just a bad. It was just a. I think a flutter fox is flying. It was really just a punt, not a bluff. All right, something decently big is nice to see. Ideally, Oppo finds a land, and then they Improbable Alliance their way. Ugh, come on. All right, well, at least Rimrock makes this a 2-for-1. Oh, wait, they don't even have 4 power, so this is great. Sorry, I was thinking they had the ability to trade for the Knight Errant, but they don't. Or the Ogre Errant. So they have decisions to make now, and we get to get in extra damage. Drop a Rimrock and try to find a way to win this one. I think they're gonna pitch. Yeah, they need to pitch what they've got to make a 1/1, and then also find something else. So we're in a decent spot here. Ooh, now we're in an excellent spot because they can't make, unless this is something special. They do have one card we don't know about, but basically we get to attack in with Ogre Errant and Rimrock. The Rimrock forces a double block, therefore leaving one creature left to single block the Ogre Errant. It lives in the next, and then we drop the Fireborn and threaten the Fireborn next turn. So that's the play. We're in fantastic shape if they don't have anything in their hand. If this card is a blank, we're in great shape. If this card is real, we could be in trouble. So they go Fairy plus one of their 2/3s on the Rimrock. We take out the 2/3. Oh yeah, sure, that makes sense too. But this just gives us a choice of 2. Yeah, this is fine. This lets them keep one of their 2/3s. Interesting choice. The Fairy Vandal can get to a 3/4 no matter what we do because they can activate the Improbable Alliance. 3/4 is not enough to actually eat the Ogre Errant, though. We let them have the Merchant, and we let them keep a different means, a cheaper means to draw a card and thus get a fairy. So I think we want to kill the Merchant to make that their fairy generation next turn is a 6-mana affair and not a 3-mana affair. So I'm going to do this, even though this has the potential to be the bigger creature. If we were to draw another land, we would not be in a spot where we get double pumps. Like if we were at 7 land or 6 land here, we are at 6. So 6, 7. Yeah, we should play this because if we find a land off the top, we can double pump. So just doing the pump math on whether we disguise our hand with a land or not. But a land off the top gives us double pump, so we shouldn't do that. This is great for us. I don't know what this is, but they didn't activate this. Cereal. Well, they got a forced block. Oh, come on, deck. I'm very salty about this match. I think our deck is better than what Oppo is doing, and they keep just finding perfect stuff. Unbelievable. I mean, they are also scrying and stuff, so it's not like they're randomly off the top every time, but come on. Come on! We have such outs. We have another Rimrock, a Scorching, an Inspiring Veteran. These are all just things that get us through the monitor. We have a Silver Flame Ritual. We have a Barge In. We have a Red Cap Malay. We are just filled to the brim with cards that get an Ogre Errant through a corridor monitor, and yet here we are. I really don't want to lose this. Really don't want to lose this one. Okay, there's one of our million options to get an Ogre Errant through a corridor monitor. So we'll start there. Even mana Grixis Eldraine. Look at this. Look at this. Look at what we're losing to. Absurd. All right. Unfortunately, not a knight, so we're not even out of the woods here. But we Dragonfire and force. Oh no, we are. We can win. Sorry, they got greedy. I forgot that order can't block. So justice, justice. What? Here comes the so tiny. The so tiny of justice. Doesn't matter, this can't block, so they need a so tiny or we win. Oh, I'm so glad to pick up that match. I think I would have quit streaming. Woo! And we got some gems back, so that's nice. All right. I'm going to take a thank God we didn't lose to that one breath. Oppo, again, I always like to presume Oppo is going to show up in chat afterwards and chat about the game. They do often. So Oppo really didn't want to lose to your 3-color deck there. I don't know what happened, but when you're even on 3 colors like that, it makes me feel like my aggressive, tight 2-color deck ought to just mow you down. But man, that Make a Fairy enchantment was just so good against us, it made it a very tricky match. So good game, Oppo. Don't mean to be rude. Just felt like I should a tight aggro deck should beat a mana base like that, but not trying to be rude. All right, I'm gonna be right back. Take a little bio break, get a beverage and some food, and we'll keep going and hopefully get our profit. Next up, be right back. Yeah, I have some crackers here and stay muted as I start up the next game here. Everybody who responded wants to mull. I think you can make a keep argument with the Fireborn and the Venerable. But we would like to see one of each. I'll follow chat on this one and mulligan. Unfortunately, wow, do we mulligan this even? We pitch a mountain and then we have 4 mountains and these 2 cards. I don't know what that gets us. All right. We got to make this work. We're going to get rid of... Actually, we're going to get rid of Bargain. And red cap. I think we just get rid of our red cards, except for the Veteran. Luck out, get a mountain on top, and then this hand is okay. Yeah, we're gonna go on this. We're on the hope that we find a mountain off the top and turn this into a real hand. Facing a lot of blue decks today. Aren't we 3 for 3 on blue now? What are we facing? No, first one was like mono green, right? All right. First thing we wanted to happen happened. Let's see if we can get there. Actually going to offer up this outflank here. Huh. Well, now it's going to be totally telegraphed. You might just look to them like I screwed up and habitually played creatures after combat, but that was intentional. I wanted outflank available. Now we're going to see if they're bold enough to block with their Pyromancer. They shouldn't be. They've got a Witching Well. It would be a terrible block for Oppo to block either one of these, but let's see if Oppo wants to be terrible. Nope, Oppo's going to be good about it. So we're going to save Shepherd to save our Veteran. Really tough to beat this, but we're going to try. We got the aggro going to do so. Also, we're trying to beat it on a 5-card hand. Gosh, how badly do we want this back now? Oh ho! This is actually interesting. So we're going to save the Veteran. Actually, let's attack with both, and then let them go after one, and then whatever... Well, let's see. Yeah. Whatever gets left behind, we can use to take out the Pyromancer. If we do the outflank... That doesn't do it. I'm gonna just let this happen. Although what I kind of want to do is force the Witching Well action. Outflank forces the Witching Well action. That's kind of what I'm trying to do. So the idea is we would outflank. They would respond by activating the Witching Well. We then respond by shepherding the Knight, and then we get to joust uncontested with the Veteran. Yeah, that's true. We can go to full control and do it after damage. I like that. We can at least do one more step before we have to make this call. All right, they're gonna let that happen. Perfect. Awesome. Good call, chat. We're gonna try. If I could joust, let's see, 2+2+1. Now we lose combat, or we just trade. So I'm not going to joust here. But if we would win, if we would just eat this creature, I would actually joust right now. Second blue-red draw a card deck in a row, which, as we've said, is really quite matched up well against all of our 1 toughness. So a little frustrating. But we do get the Veteran back here. And let's go ahead and joust the... Well, let's see if we... Oh, we can joust the Wolverine with the Veteran, and then the Knight still gets in. All right, that all works. It doesn't give this an extra couple points of power, but trouble is if we put this here and like fight here, then they have an easy single block here to kill it. Whereas this doesn't give them a good block this turn. Uh-oh. Why are we up against all of the 1/1 token decks? This is so hard for us. No, they don't trade in the fight, but then they trade when I attack. So if I had put it on the Venerable Knight, the Venerable Knight effectively becomes a 5/1, and then Oppo has an easy block of the Tome Raider on the 5/1. I guess we're just going to drop Ogre Errant here after we attack. I'm really worried about the Thrill, though, and if they Thrill, they get to eat the Veteran, which is pretty bad for us. I think I'm just going to send in the Venerable out of fear of the Thrill. I think Inspiring Veteran is too important to us to risk. And I made this mistake before. I didn't play out something that could have warned the counter from the Venerable Knight that we would have rather had it on. In this case, I just want the counter on the Veteran, so I'm not worried that I didn't play the Ogre, and it helps us better suggest that we may have tricks or whatever here. Uh-huh. I'm on to you, Oppo. You don't get our veteran. You can get our Venerable Knight, and we'll take counters for our veteran. Robert, you seem to be right, because we keep facing it, and I've definitely seen it. I've just not wanted it or not trusted that it's worth going for, even. Assuming a more card draw, they can just like eat the ogre. I'm gonna play Flock and Weaselback, and then maybe we can draw planes for the Adamant. It's not a big deal if we Adamant or not, but we're gonna take a turn off and then Silver Flame next turn. Huh. I was going to say, they must have something else to draw, or they wouldn't have used that on their end step. Ugh. Good God. Can't believe we're doing it again. Facing another one of these damn decks again. We could Rimrock. If we save Rimrock, what does that do for us? We get a 6/5 Ogre Errant that could take out a bunch of stuff. At least they're tapped out, so we know those Blood Hazes aren't going to be getting first strike. That's where I had no attacks last turn because we couldn't trust that we weren't just going to get first struck. I think we are in Silver Flame, put him to the test mode. What Cardinator? They don't have any first strike. That's my point. Whereas when they can draw, these become first strikey. Oh, I think we're just Silver Flame attack everything here. Mainly because I feel like we're behind and can't really win from this position. I think we're losing this game, so I'm doing this. Yeah, I don't think this is a great attack, and I don't like our chances, but I don't have any other plan that seems better than trying to apply pressure while we can. That wasn't terrible for us, all things considered. Yeah, I'm not sure if they found lethal somehow. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7. That's not lethal. But these rats, I don't know what we do about 2 rats a turn in our 1 toughness deck. I'm glad you're not my oppo, Kalzad. Maybe we'll find a way here. I don't think we realistically can, though. We're taking 3 in the air, definite. Well, they may be putting Merchant on Ogre, and we can at least Rimrock away the Merchant. Still need to swing away. Oh yeah, they're doing the double rat. Double Merchant. Good play, Oppo. I think we're done for, but that's where I felt. I already felt done for when we did our big flunge last turn. That does nothing. That nothing gets through for anything. So rim rocking doesn't matter at all. Let's see if they want to show us anything before they kill us. All right, they did want to show us something because they're killing us. All right, same plan as before. A couple of brutes in, a fox in, and trim. Let's see, I'm going to trim an outflank, one red cap, one rimrock, and what else did we cut? The joust. Last time we cut a joust in this spot. This was our previous switch. We could also, we could play the giant. Is that really? We've got some removal. I'm not going to leave in the joust just because we think it gets the pyromancer. But I am wondering if we want like even an ogre over an archon. I guess archon's not that great against all those 1/1s in the air. I think I actually like an ogre errant better. Yeah, the archon prevents those 1/1s from attacking very successfully, but it 3/2 for 4. It does stop mass attacks, but I'm doing this because we're executing it on the play game plan. It does get radder because we have to come up with something. I like the Gingerbrute Flutterfox plan. What do you want? You have 44 seconds. What do you want in for joust, or what do you want out for joust, Robert? I'm open to the idea, but what are we cutting? You just go with one ogre errant in the joust. I'm going to submit it as is before we rope Robert. But the bottom line is something's got to give, and we actually do have some decent removal in the deck still. All right. Let's see if we can put the pressure on. Oppo mulliganing this time. Give us a little help. No worries, man. Just don't have a 1-drop, please. Or that's an acceptable 1-drop, I suppose. I just want to be able to attack cleanly and play a Flutterfox and not have to use Dragonfire on turn 2. How about a red cap on 3? Oh, good question. Favorite movie of the year? I forget when things come out. I also forget what I've seen. I also forget everything about movies I've seen 5 seconds after I've seen them. Yeah, we'll spend a turn getting in some extra damage. Like, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, I see people ranking the 24 Marvel movies or whatever. I'm like, how do you people remember anything that happened in any of those movies? The only thing I know about these movies is who's in them because of the titles. Like, Oh shoot! I meant to Silver Flame Squire there. I thought we were one click away from that. I'm gonna pass, and we'll see if we use Dragonfire on something to use our mana this turn. I just meant to. All right. Can't even get it, unfortunately. I asked for you last turn, Redcap. Last turn. That being said, let's play the Redcap and set up for the next couple of turns here. If we draw a land, we have On Alert plus Scorching, and eventually the Silver Flame Ritual makes all this very good too. So we can get this Mantle, and in the meantime, if they want to get aggro with Mantle, that's fine. They attack with Mantle, play their 2/2. Ooh, play that. That's rough. Well, we had a foul to give. Here it is. Can't win this now. Unless Oppo just wants to block terribly. We're going to give Oppo a chance to block terribly, but I don't think we can win this now. Yeah, that was an unreal hand for Oppo. I don't... like, you serious? Boy. Wow. Well, I kind of just like the double pump to trade for that. I'm gonna... Yeah, we're down. Oppo has a win. We're, here, let's move it. There we go. Now you can see Oppo's wins above the chat. Jesus, are you effing kidding me? Well, this is why I didn't bother playing anything. Like, basically, we don't even play anything until we can find the red cap to take out the Pyromancer. Hoo-hee, we didn't win last game. Well, I'm going to give him the Brute. But actually, I'll attack. If they want to block, we get it again. We get them. But they didn't. I'm going to go ahead and take max damage. They could have Thrill here. I'm not playing around anything because we didn't have any other choices. Screw that nonsense. Jesus, can we not play a make infinite 1/1 draw card Pyromancer deck, please? Gross. GG Oppo. Good deck. I'm just being salty. All right, like to play. Wouldn't mind a better opener than we've been getting too. Nemo, good game. I was just getting salty at you. You had a great deck. Also, the blue-red create infinite tokens deck is just utterly perfect against our red-white 1 toughness deck, and we just keep facing them. So you're like not the first. Not the first. Here, deal with a bunch of 1/1s, you 1 toughness deck. Yeah, it was rough. Also, sure, just draw your Ironclad every single time. Thanks. Back to this. Keep or mulligan. I'm going to mulligan. We want to get on board faster than 3. Sigh. We're going to frickin' keep this. We were just happy you blocked with the Ironclad that one time to give us a chance. We sure don't want any more land ever for the rest of the game. Like, not ever. Okay. What do we want to do with that, though? We can go... I think we just go extra damage Shepherd. We're in another spot where, again, our liability is just our 1 toughness. They play anything, and we're kind of a little bit backed into a corner. I'm going to Rimrock. I guess we can Rimrock, and there's no need to play the Shepherd yet. Now, if they spend the whole turn, for example, Trail of Crumbing, that's okay with us. They get 3 life back, but they don't develop their board, and we get to crack in for 6. Draw action. Action? That's action. That's action. Looks like they are maybe doing that, too. All right. Actually, I feel much better able to manage a food deck than a 1/1 token army deck. We're far weaker to 1/1s. Food costs, they have to spend their whole turn to eat it and stuff, so I find the aggro decks can race food pretty effectively. Now, if they drop, for example, something that is looking to block a Rimrock, we get the really sweet play that I love in these types of decks, which is they block a Rimrock to try and trade or eat it. We shepherd it, bring it to our hand, and then recast it as Boulder Rush on our red cap. So hopefully that's what we do next turn. Hopefully, if that's it, we're okay. Oh man, Joust is tempting to just try and take it out. I'm a little worried that they have Pump, though. Because they have 4 mana. They presumably could have cast something bigger. I'm worried about Appetite here, or +2/+2. +2/+2 or +3/+3. So despite the temptation of this Joust, I am going to... although maybe we have to because... it gets this big enough. Like, let's say they pump it and then eat. We could still save the red cap. Ugh, interesting. I don't want to attack with the red cap and give them an offer of a simple trade. But that, I guess, is the spot where we bounce back the Rimrock and still do our trick, which is what we were talking about doing. I'm really worried about the pump here, so I'm not going to do the Joust play. I'm going to do the Shepherd back a Rimrock play. Or maybe we even just leave the red cap back here and see if they want to do something with either of these. Actually, I'm going to do that. I'm going to only put our... do both. Well, I don't want to risk the Joust. If we Joust and they have Pump, then they just literally eat our red cap. It's not that I can't do both. It's that... it's that I don't want to. They could have done what, when... Oh, yeah, they could have ramped and played the 2. Yeah, excellent point. I see what you're saying now. So we're going to play around the pump here, leave the red cap at home, and force some action on these. And I'll just take this. If we're wrong and they don't have the pump, great. Then we'll take the trade. All right, so they have Carver. Can't do anything to stop them from doing that. We could, let's see, we can either bounce this and win the combat, or I guess we just bounce this and rock the rim here again. And yeah, we'll drop a Rimrock. Dropping the Rimrock over the Shepherd because it can be jousted if need be. Shepherd can't be jousted. Or can't be jousted to the +2/+1 effect. Auto tap. This is not in our hand. There's nothing to cast or do. Yeah, they might need to come up with a different treatment here to stop what happened to Alpha Ferg. That sudden feeling like, oh no, they're thinking this is in hand when it's not. Okay, sorry. So we melee, joust, and win. Seems like a good plan. Or we joust first, and if joust doesn't take out the squire, we respond with the damage, and then we win. All right, green, red, couple of pump tricks, some early stuff. Beanstalk, carvers, some food. Squire suggests adventure, but sometimes people just play this because it's a 2. We've seen some adventure. Yeah, it's kind of just green, red adventure, it looks like. Don't know what we change on that axis. The joust seemed fine. Maybe this is where we bring in Realm Cloaked. They have a lot of big stuff, although they have giants too. So actually Realm Cloak maybe not the right answer because it doesn't actually kill this. Yeah, actually I changed my mind. They've shown giants, so let's not do that. Which makes me want to just run this back. Yeah, I'm gonna run it back. Oh, not a great hand, but I think it's a keep with the 1/2. We have been hit with the 4 identical lands. We have a 16 land 8/8 split, but our opening hand has just been, here, 4 of one thing, just for you, because we know you love it. It's kind of like starting with a mulligan, but I still think it was better than a random 6. because this fourth plains is just never going to be useful. Never going to be useful. I will offer a trade here. I think a 3-2 Youthful Knight is great. And those two are both real cards. So if they want to trade their real card for our real card and give us a 3-2 first striker, I'm in. They're not. Yeah, this is a sad looking hand right now. Oh, just got sadder. Sad, sad hand. And they've shown us a million pump spells, so we're not even attacking into it. It's just so obvious Carver. Looks like maybe they're only splashing red. They had heavy green last time. And only one mountain. And now we're seeing gingerbread cabins and nothing but heavy green again. Probably where Marrowleaf Rider forces a block and they use Carver to punish us. We took a chance. We had one of those hands that's like, find a mountain, you're fine. Don't find a mountain, quick scoop. Deck has been really teasing us. Hey, look, I lied. The fourth plains came in handy because without it, we couldn't cast that 4-drop. We feel so dead, but if we do find a mountain like off the top next turn, we have a lot of trick action with 2 barge-ins and 2 rim rocks. Funny they're forcing that block since that's what I was going to do anyway. How odd. One-time mountain, please. One-time mountain. Make this interesting. For real deck. 8-8 split, folks. 8-8 split. Like, what do we even play it for? What does it do? We have more planes in play than we have generic mana symbols in our cards. All right, this is the game we signed up for. Let's make it through this loss and try and win game 3. Or maybe I'm being too doom and gloom. It just feels impossible to win with the value we've been giving up to Oppo here. But again, if we literally find a mountain on top and can actually just eat this keeper with a Rimrock on the Youthful Knight, then we have a chance. Right on, Craig. Glad that's working for you. We must have picked Yorvo early and leaned into the... I'm done. I'm done. Wow. All these carvers on the play. Almost makes me want to bring in another Joust and drop something else. But no, I think this is fine. Let's just get a little better library luck here and put him to the aggressive test. 3 mana, even split, 2 and 1 split mana, please. 3 mana, 2/1 split, your choice, bot. Not quite, but I'll take it. We're going to keep this. And kind of got there here. I'm going to Rimrock for no value because of the bargains. We get Rimrock here, and then Veteran next turn with Bargain backup is a heck of a lot of damage represented. Squire incoming. Yeah, 3 wins in best of 3 is infinite. Next turn, Fireborn. Turn after, Bargain. If we draw a land between now and then, we get Bargain plus Pump on Fireborn. Oh, man. Or we can just do Archon. I think we offer Rimrock as a straight-up trade. And if they want that, that's fine. Not going to barge in. It doesn't save it. Oh, man. Almost want to barge in for damage here. We'll take that damage. And we're going to Fireborn because next turn... Land plus Bargain plus Inspiring Veteran means Fireborn is actually a 5-power double striker, or 6-power double striker, which is enough to actually eat Yorvo. Oh man, an Oppo going egg here is very good news for us. Very good news. Might even be able to attack with everything and barge in for the practical win here. Oh, that's helpful too. I'm gonna send everything and assume that they have to put Yorvo on Fireborn or they lose. And we have 2 tricks in hand that are fine for this anyway, depending on how they block. Okay, they're going for that. So then we're gonna go ahead and let's see, can we just win? We barge in 5, 10. Yeah, we just win. Let's barge in for the win. And if we needed to, we could even return the Rimrock and re-Rimrock. But I didn't want to bounce. Yeah, we could have shepherded the Rimrock for more damage, but at that point, I was happy to accept that trade anyway. All right, rough second game there, but our deck did exactly as designed in the third game to pick us up the match. And ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, and everybody else... We have Profit. 3 wins plus gem grind equals profit. Also, I want your best TV show and movie snippets in which the person excitedly talks about profit, wealth, being rich, etc. So yeah, that's the classic Dave Chappelle. But is Brian here by chance? I don't know if Brian's still here or not, but Brian made that for me, Valhalla's Chosen. And I was thinking what I wanted to do is actually take that same animation and put some different profit quotes over it. Oh, hey, Brian. So like... I like the Dave Chappelle one, but I was thinking we could, yeah, something. I was looking up Ferengi, like, God, we can't get land here. Like, we got this one. Where is it? Oh, here, hold on. I need to go like this. Oh, here, hold on. I need to. Oh, here, hold on. I need to go like this. Oh, here, hold on. I need to. Oh, here, hold on. I need to go like this. Sorry. Trying to show the one profit quote I found, but it loops myself with the way I have my setup going, so I had to stop. Anyway, I found one Ferengi profit quote. But anyway, if you have some great profit stuff, you can send it to me at motogodot@gmail.com, and maybe we'll make some alternates of that. Back to this. Are we mulliganing or keeping this? Oppo's going first. We do have a Squire on 2, if nothing else. We have Fireborn and Archon if we draw nothing but plains. We need to draw some land. I'm going to keep it. The draw makes this a little bit easier. Coffee is for closers would be good. Anything like that. Anything you think would be fun to play as a quote as we make profit in our efforts. All right, we found a mountain. Thank you, deck, for delivering something for us. I think we could do a no-value Squire, but let's not do that. Let's do a tapped-out Dragonfire on their 3/1. Next turn we get Red Cap, and then we get things like Silver Flame in conjunction with Red Cap, which is a much better use of this card. Decent. I think I'm going to like our... We could just make this trade here. They've got 3 cards left and a Ferocity. We've got all of this action. They might have a barge in, though. I'm going to play around the barge in. Wouldn't it trade? Why wouldn't it trade? Oh, no, yeah, it would win. Sorry, good call. Glad I didn't follow that through to the end. It wasn't a trade anyway. It was not a trade, so let's not do that. I'm going to play Archon here. Let's make them have removal, or let's tax their mana if they want to keep attacking. If we draw land next turn, we get On Alert plus Youthful Knight, for example. That's fair enough. If it's the rich brat dancing around, you may have found the best one already, but or maybe we put a different video over it. The point is, give me your best. Whether or not it goes as an alternate over what Brian made, it would be fun to get more profit quotes going so that we can make alternates. Anytime you let a Raging Red Cap through with open mana like this, you could be ending your game. I mean, they could have just gone Rimrock +3/+3 or something, and, you know. Yeah, the song I was thinking of, the OJ's For the Love of Money. Wow, why didn't they do that up front? That's interesting. We were tapped out. Couldn't have done anything about getting the counter. Let's start with an attack. I'm not going to block with the Archon. Right? Nah, I'm not blocking with the Archon. I think I'm going to go Fireborn here. Still gives us Youthful plus Combat Trick stuff next turn if we find land. Still have Bargain. We might have to just try a trade here, though. No, they win again. Sorry, this becomes a 3/3. We could easily die here, but I can't just chump. I feel like we may be about to die. If it's +2/+2, we're not dead, though. We're only dead to Appetite, not Bargain. Holding up Bargain doesn't do anything, man. right. Well, they might choose to not block, in which case we can maybe find a win with Barge in plus Silver Flame, right? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's, yeah, so if they don't block, we win. Let's try that. I mean, it's all we can do. Start here. See if they want to risk... It certainly doesn't look like we can leap out of nowhere and win this game. So, but they're not going to take that chance. They're too smart for that. Barge in doesn't get us trample, but let's go Rimrock. Then yeah, the money opening would be good. All right, so now we're gonna drop a Youthful Knight and try to chump. If this or their top card is removal, we're dead, but let's make them have it. The Pants Gnomes for profit. Awesome. Thanks, Seth. They have trample, but that doesn't kill us. What kills us is if they have a trick. Oh yeah, I could use the Silver Flame Adventure. Good call. I guess because I'm trying to use it to win. Instead, Oppo does. Did they just draw that? Feels like they had that play before. All right, you got the first one, but what's in here? I think we're just trying to get underneath them. Let's see. Underpants. If you chat, I'm just going to forget. So you should either email me or put it in the Discord. You can put it in Discord chat. But like... Gnomes. Coffee is for posers. Something Ferengi. Like wondering if there's something Wall Street or Wolf of Wall Street that might have something. Oh yeah, OJ's For Love of Money song. Greed is good is a something I want to get, but not for that. Greed has better applications as a word in Magic. Anyway, well, I guess we're running it back. Show me the money. Yeah, do a show me the money thing. Sure, that works. I want to use greed stuff when we make greedy plays, not when we actually just successfully win our money back. Well, we got 3 wins, so I can't complain too much, but man, our draws have been rough for a 16-land, evenly split deck this this draft. This is like already a 6-lander. I think we can do better. I mean, sorry, this is already like a mull to 6 in my mind. Again, a 4th Plains is never doing anything for us, so this is already like 3 Plains, a Mountain, Weaselback, and Joust. So I'm going to mulligan. I hate you, Magic. I'm a masochist, which is why I stream and play this game. We keep Sadly, and we ditch the Weaselback because if we do find some red, by the time we do, we're going to be moving on from 1-drops. All right, come on, a mountain off the top and make it interesting, please. Mountain, 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 mountain! We got there, boys and girls. Cannot joust and kill, so this time we can either tap and joust, or we can just Silver Flame. We're going to Silver Flame away that spider. Good sideboard. I assume that's a sideboard from Oppo, and it's a great sideboard card against us, but we have the goods this time. Now they know what's up, and now they're just trying to figure out how they want to approach the trade here. There's no way Oppo hasn't figured out that we have a trick here. And if Oppo's going to do that, I'm going to go for extra damage here. Oh, that's a good point. We would owe for a half ourselves, because I would still do it. If they had blocked the Youthful Knight, we play this and then they bounce. It's true, but I still would have done it. And in fact, I'm going to do it anyway for the damage on red cap. I'm going to pile on. And one of the reasons I'm doing this here is they're only showing one creature right now. This gets in 8 damage, and if they come up with a creature play, we get to go tap Silver Flame Squire, get in for a bunch. Oh, that's the worst. Did not want to see the outmuscle. Gotta admit that. Here we go, though. We can... well, we could joust and Rimrock, but that kills it. So I guess we have to tap, attack, and Squire. That's what I want to do here. No, maybe we... we could just play the Rimrock, but I feel like we're going to need that damage. I think I'd... yeah, we don't have Joust and Rim, so we can't do that play anyway. Now I'm thinking about... we can't Joust at all. So Joust is just off the table. There's nothing to Joust here, Ryan. Get over it. So I guess we play Rimrock and Squire. Oh yeah, we can play Squire and save Swoop. All right, I'm down for that. Let's do that. Let's play Squire, pass... We want to swoop when we can get Spider plus their other creature play. That's really what I wanted. Yeah, I wanted to use red. Maybe we should have tried to, but this is good. Oh, not if they find another spell though. Bounce a land? What do you mean bounce a land? I don't know what we're talking about. If we get a shepherd or something? That seems good. Still can't joust anything effectively here. Unless we Tactician Joust, but that doesn't do anything. So we should Rimrock Tactician. I guess we start with an attack. And I guess I went hastily there. We can Rimrock for extra damage, and then Tactician. Or we could just Tactician Rimrock and get a 3 power on board, so we get wider. I think we should go for damage, though, because then we have Tactician to... Although, Spider. It's going to be tough to get the last few points in, honestly, folks. I thought we were looking good, but I'm not really feeling that as much with this spot. But I'm going to go for get him to 2, and then maybe we can get wide enough. Rim Joust on Spider. That does get rid of the spider. Yeah, Twitch Graffiti has an interesting line that's worth considering here. I was thinking of going for extra damage, but if I feel like our only way to close this out is to get the tactician in through the air, and yeah, we get him to 2 now if we want to Rimrock. But I like the play to take out Spider. I think it's important. See if this tactician survives. All right, they're just going for big, which is actually good for us. That means they're counting on the spider to deal with the tactician. Is it just the game? I don't know how it's the game. They get to block. They have a spider. It's got reach. This is the whole conversation of us trying to figure out how to... It's game? What are you people talking about? They get to block this. They doesn't die. Does it? Oh, because we get to... yeah. All right, we do it then. Sorry, it is game. I'm sorry. Sometimes chat is faster than me. I was thinking we couldn't joust and live. Dude. I time out anybody who gives someone streaming the most complicated game on the planet a dude because they missed a line for 10 seconds. Dude, shut it. I promise you when I watch your stream, I will not dude at you when you make a... when you're 10 seconds behind on finding a line. All right, are we changing anything? It'll be much tougher on the draw. Trouble with these feels like a Realm Cloaked is that the colors we're bringing in against have giants. Like, did we see any giants? Maybe we didn't actually see any giants this time and we could try bringing it in. I'd be up on the draw for bringing in a Realm Cloaked for maybe even one of the Rimrocks. Yeah. Feels like shaving off one Rimrock is okay. I don't know if there's another... Like, yes, we were up against the spider there, so we had a little bit of trouble getting it through. A code for TBD? I'm not sure what you mean, Cyber Angle. Oh, TBD is Theros Beyond Death, right. TBD to me means... to be determined. I don't think there's a code for it. I'm going to try this. It's THB. I don't know what the set code is. I wonder if they deliberately chose not to have a set code that was TBD because of its meaning in the business space. Because it just sounds like you're working on the set code. All right, we can keep this. This was one of our Rimrocks. So would we rather have a Rimrock or a Realm Cloaked? I guess we'll find out. Well, I like a Venerable on 1. We could cap it, but I like just dropping a Knight, and then if they want to trade off, we get a... Well, maybe this is not the best play, because... Then they just kill the Youthful Knight. Now, we do have a lot to go on after that, though. And they use up their third turn to do that. But I think I'm going to hold back. Because we also have the red cap that we could use if we wanted to take out this 1/1 for no penalty. And I want to make them think about how to use this Cauldron before we have given up the knight value, given up this dead knight value. Now I kind of want to almost play to the Realm Cloaked, play the cast off. And we can even save. Yeah, I'm just going to say we're going to sit back and play a little bit more of a controlling game here with red cap available and Shepherd available to save. And Realm Cloaked, a cast off in hand that Oppo is certainly not going to be expecting. They may dump their hand and we can really just get a huge advantage. Presumes we're going to find a couple lands in the next couple of turns, but if we do, I like it. Okay, right now I'm in for trading damage with this thing. Well, we got choices now. That was really unfortunate. We really want to be finding our lands here. We are running a 16-lander, mind you, and we put in the Realm Cloak, so we're somewhat getting what we asked for. Only the one Shepherd. But I think... Oh, this is rough. This is rough. I'm going to send in the Youthful Knight and then be ready to chump with the Venerable. No, I'm not even going to play the chump. If we get land, we're going to be really happy we held our stuff post-Wrath. And they're not putting so much pressure on that I'm really worried about this right now, and I am expecting them to use Cauldron. Given this board, Cyber Angle, absolutely. They've got a 3/7. They had a 1/5, and now it's a 3/7. We do not do well against this card. Whereas if they dump their entire hand and we Wrath, we're going to stroll to victory from there. I hear what you're saying, but we don't have low and fast. Low and fast as you suicide into the spider, Ryan. Low and fast as you die into the Scaldron. Come on, man. Look at the situation. We don't have low and fast here against this defense. You can say dude, or I could say dude. It's weird. I hear you. But it is, I think, totally correct to play to the strength we have there. Watch them use Cauldron on the Youthful Knight. Well, I won't attack because they're gonna do Crashing Drawbridge, Tree Folk, Haste, get us pretty low, and then we try and find. I guess we can go. We could play one other. I'm gonna play this chump so we don't go too low. I'm gonna give up this card. What we can do here now is they get to go ahead and Cauldron something here. Probably Cauldron the Youthful Knight. That's my expect. Ooh, they didn't Cauldron the Youthful Knight. Weird. I really thought they would Cauldron the Youthful Knight. That's why I played the red cap, so we had something to chump 6/5 haste. If we don't get a land, we are not dead. We have a couple of turns. We just have to chump a little more than we really want to. All right, Timnos, but that's your one time. Yeah, Paladin would be so bad for us. With 3 points of first strike, we could do this alternate play. Trouble is the alternate play costs us a land, because we could red cap, do 4 and 3 points to finish it off. But they also have the Cauldron available. Then they'd use the Cauldron for that, which is no good. I'm going to take 3. Really surprised they didn't just play the Tree Folk and give it haste. Would have been a lot of damage. We could Shepherd the Youthful Knight if we think that like we need to draw land to win. We could just Shepherd back our Youthful Knight so that we can Wrath. I think I'm going to do that. A little telegraphy here, but we kind of need a land to win this, so I'm just playing for it. They must be thinking, what is Oppo doing? Taking a chance is what we're doing. Land us, please. One time. Yeah. They could have something amazing here, but this is pretty good. Let's just cap that and then drop an errant that can't be hit by the Cauldron. If we do Archon, they just take it out of the sky with the Cauldron. That doesn't seem good. Let's play the Ogre Errant. Could risk a Rimrock, but I don't think we should do that. I'm going to offer them some other things to do here besides kill our Archon. So we're going to give them a Shepherd and Youthful Knight, and they can pick off one of those, and then Archon becomes a much better play after that. Wow, they did not... What are they waiting on this Cauldron for? I don't understand. I can't believe they died with a Cauldron and us with a million targets for it over the course of the game. But there's your fast and wide. They're fast and low. All right. Once again, we've pushed it to the limit. Extra profit. Oops, I meant this. Gonna go back to the no giant build, or no realm cloaked build here. What part, Angle? That's the Dave Chappelle show, and the art, you'd have to ask Brian. Is that somebody find the art? I don't know. IGI? Okay. The Pink Floyd bit. Do you mean when I started the other meme? I don't think there's any Pink Floyd in any of the samples. Oh, that's Air's. It's called Once Upon a Time by Air. Here, I'll run it. I just clicked the wrong one when I was going for the Prophet meme. Oh, I don't know about the money sounds. You'd have to ask the creator. That'd be Brian. Oh, okay. Here's the thing, I don't really hear it. I listened to it once, and then I play it without hearing it, so I didn't realize Floyd's money was in there. There you go. Sorry, Oppo, not trying to torture you. We'll keep this. Valueless Rimrock unless we find an alternate 2. We did find an alternate 2. I'm going to cast it instead. Well, in Constructed, I usually scoop against early ovens, but we'll tough this one out. Bargain and Dragonfire means we get some serious damage in before Oppo gets to stabilize. Even against a Sporecap Spider, our nemesis from last game has reemerged. We are flooding out by our standards in this 16-land deck, but we do have a means to get rid of this troublesome spider. The trouble is it's going to then lead to 2 foods. Like, this is bad news bears for us. We're going to use... Well, we get Trample, though, so it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. We're trading Scorching Dragonfire, but they get a lot of value out of it. It's still rough. This is not where we want to be exactly. But they do take a nice, healthy 8 points of damage here. And we don't even need to use Scorching yet. We just kind of get there off of Rimrock. Or off of Bargain. Food is toughness based. Huh. They decided to preserve damage instead of make the food, meaning maybe they don't feel they have time to eat the food that they would create there. That's fine. Give us something to scorch, please. Oh my god. Oh, I don't think we're winning this match. 2 spiders, it's like our... why did every opponent come up with, like, the best matchup against us? We're still doing all right, but man, now I'm going to 2-for-1 myself to get rid of this one. Did I just curse? I don't even know if I just cursed. What did I say? Yeah, I think we just have to do this. I hate our position. They're stuck on land, which is our one hope. I don't think I did. I don't know. Someone was saying no profanity. I don't know if they were talking to me or somebody else. Sometimes I... Oh, I see. You're talking to the butt comment. I get it. Fair enough, Robert. Now they'll take some food. If, let's say they don't find in the land, they've got 4 black cards in their hand and they draw a 5th black card or whatever, like, we could just win off of mass pump of red cap. It's not likely, but they're at a virtual 12 in that spot. Not likely, but it's plan A right now, folks. Plan A right now. No, could not have saved the Rimrock. Rimrock doesn't have first strike. Oppo would have been forced to sack before damage to the Rimrock. Oh, good point. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I screwed that up by not making him choose between food and trades. So yeah, good call, Croker. Yeah, I just didn't see it. Chat is outplaying me on multiple axes today. It happens. But if you dude me about it, I'm gonna time you out. Going Optimal, you are good at drafting, but what got you into Magic in the first place? Well, my buddy Marshall Sutcliffe, well, really, my cousin Jay Chow and his buddy Marshall Sutcliffe were playing it and taught me. Straight up, that's how that happened. All we know is that they like spiders and ovens. And that, I guess we go to the cookie mode then. Cookies seem to be good when they have all the tools to block us, right? Unfortunately, the foxes don't really do much because the spiders are what the problem are. But I am going to bring in 2 brutes. I'm going to drop a Rimrock. I'm going to drop a red cap. Yes, Marshall Sutcliffe, age... How old was he in 94? I'm going to say he was around 13, 14, 15, somewhere in there, when he taught me to play Magic. I don't think I'm going to go with the Giant. I think I'm just going to go with the Brutes and try to get our aggro on. The reason to go with the Brutes is they can attack past 1/5s with Reach. Nobody who I would call a friend ever asked me a single thing about insider info at WotC. Every single one of them knew that. Why would you ask me that? You know I can't answer. I'm not keeping a 5-lander. We have a Squire barge in, but that's not enough. I'm going to mulligan this. We can keep this and give up on probably the Weaselback. Again, we're going to go Ginger Brute into Rimrock. We don't need the Weaselback as much. Well, that's funny. I thought we would be attacking with our Ginger Brute. Turns out we could, but it's kind of our trump card against what they're doing, so we're not gonna. Double Tracker, pretty good. Probably gonna have to use a Scorching Dragonfire here. Except on what? Or maybe not. We can go Venerable. This scares me. But really, these scare me more. I think we almost have to presume that... now, that we're going to lose to trackers, I think. Innkeeper can be. If they don't have any adventures, Innkeeper is no big deal at all. Also, if they have adventures, they don't get to use the adventure side before taking advantage of the Innkeeper for multiple turns. So I'm actually going to... Here's what I'm going to do for this turn. I'm going to get in with the Brute and drop the 2/1. They could go Curious Pair and get value out of Innkeeper this turn, but to draw a card off Innkeeper this turn other than Curious Pair basically means that they have to forego the adventure side of the value. So that's why I'm risking leaving that Innkeeper alive. This screams that they have Combat Trick. I'm going to go ahead and make them use it, and I'll threaten to trade for the Innkeeper here. Yeah, it's almost certainly a trick, but... we got to draw out the trick. Or that, or we could just do that. I do not work at WotC anymore. I'm a part-time streamer, part-time collectibles trader, seller, and part-time father and husband. I am a part-time hustler. I think we can probably get away with a Scorch here. Doesn't look like they had removal. If it's Carver, the Scorching still works. Or they didn't have. It doesn't look like they had Pump. And if they do have +3/+3, we make them use it on their turn, and so at least we avoid that damage. All right, so they did have the Appetite, and they didn't save their Keeper, which means that they don't really have any adventure going right now. Food's a bummer. We go down to 6. We can get them to... well, I guess we'll attack and play a Rimrock at least. We got to keep trying to do the race here. We can always eat our Ginger Brutes if we have to. Don't think there's instant speed kill a cookie. I guess they could have a naturalize effect, but we're going to go for it here. You want to test weird science? We can test weird science. Weird science. There's the outmuscle that was predicted. Oh, outflank. Pretty good. Although we're in a spot where we have to choose exactly what we're doing and where. 16-5 is pretty bad race situation. Might have been when and where I was doing it. I don't know.
To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal. Light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle. Dance!
I'm going to risk the... yeah, tech. What are you going to do? Stupid tech. Oh man, I rented. Now I'm collapsing left and right. Doesn't really matter because I wasn't going to play the Rimrock this turn anyway. If they have Pump, we're dead. I'm not playing around Pump because we can't beat it. All right, they win. Looks like they have Pump. Oh, Return to Nature. That's not Pump. Oh, clever though. Clever, clever. Nicely done. All right, I'm gonna scoop it up. Doesn't work anymore. They did have instant speed. They just didn't use. They did choose not to do it before on our Rimrock. I don't know. All right. Well, we were on the draw against a really aggro start. I think we can get them. With their double tracker opener, I actually like bringing in a Joust and maybe even going back towards this much more hyper aggro approach. Leave in the 2 brutes. Leave the ritual. Maybe even cut the Archon. They have the double spider. Yeah, we could cut Silver Flame possibly. Kind of just want to cut our top end. Yeah, they just drew the aggro side of their stuff. We're trying to get even more aggro on them. Nah, I'm off Giant. I don't think it's the plan here. Crazily, I'm cutting the Archon. We're getting all night, all ground. Just kind of best attacking we can do here. This is what I'm going to do. Kind of want this Silver Flame back, actually. Making these brutes big is real. Maybe we have to cut a Joust back for that, or maybe just one of these Rimrocks. I'm going to cut one Rimrock. What does that look like? 16-8. Yeah, I'm going to go with this. How about a good draw, please, deck? Good draw, good draw. What meme? Missed it. Stream. Oh, which one? I don't know what stream means. After careful consideration, we're going to mulligan this. It's hard to complain when you're 4-2 playing for 5 wins, but man, our deck has just been rough on us today. Just rough. Dealer's choice. For this situation, I'm going to give you this one then.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
Do we have to keep? I think we have to keep and pitch the ritual and hope. I could have gone to 5. I guess with London, you could make an argument to go for 5 here, but we do have a play on 1, and any land gives us a play on 2. And if we do find our mountain, we're actually in decent shape. If you went to 5, I get it, and maybe I should have. I think this was definitely a correct keep for Paris. The question is it a correct keep for London? And probably not. Probably should have just mulligan given London. But I'm never punished, so we're going to draw a mountain. Don't worry about it. I'm only punished off air. Off air, this would never work, but on the air, I'm snap going to draw a mountain, and just because it makes you all feel like there's no justice in the world, and I think the Magic gods like that. Uh-oh, the gods are not with me right now. Probably just want to even trade for that. I've already given up the event, though, here. I'm in waiting to die mode already. We really needed a land off the top. I would have accepted a plains, but that was rough. How many people at WotC are tasked with rigging the shuffler? Everybody has to pitch in on that, you know. It takes a village. I mean, to really fine-tune it so that the shuffler just really makes customers mad at all the right times, that's the tough part. You just always feel like you're leaving some pain on the table, however you slice it. All right, not dead yet. Yeah, well, it's hard, you know, the real goal is you've got kind of a zero-sum emotional game, so how do you make it worse for both players? That's the trouble in rigging the shuffler, because you rig the shuffler against one person, ostensibly it's making the other person happy, so figuring out how to rig it in a way that makes everybody miserable is one of the toughest jobs at Wizards. There's no world in which Oppo doesn't have a combat trick here, but I'm not sure what we do about it. If we take what's our plan? Our plan is we draw a mountain, and then what? Then we have a 3-power first striker that still gets eaten by even the most common of pump spells. We could... But I think we might have to. Yeah, I think we're already in a spot where, even though this is a clear trick, we have to trade for the trick. We're not winning unless we find a mountain very soon, in which case we get Inspiring Veteran down and we still have the Joust play after that. All right, well, we're gonna try an outflank for a tricky outflank. Ready? I wonder why they didn't send in the Edgekeeper if they were willing to make that appetite play. We had two things we could block with, but my point is if they attack with all three, I mean, I guess at that point they're not wanting... Maybe they didn't want me to specifically go Gingerbread on Innkeeper and 2-1 first strike on Tracker, because then they'd have to trade, but it felt pretty safe for them to attack with everything there. And same philosophy as last time. We honestly don't really have the time, or... We can't beat an Innkeeper that goes off, so we're going to hope that the Innkeeper doesn't go off. And we're going to hope they don't have removal here, or removal for our Gingerbread or Pump. Alright, they did the exact same thing, but again, we just couldn't play around it. Pretty unreal that they have Return to Nature both times for that one play in that exact spot, but as you see, we can't beat anything with, so we're done. Yeah, I should have mulliganed one more time. I think our chances of winning on a mold of 5 or against this draw are awfully low, but they were better than keeping that. Somewhat of I think a Vancouver. I'm losing track of where all the mulligans originated. Scry mulligan, I think that was a keep, but London mulligan, I think we should have mulled again. I know we're at London, but I can't remember if the one before was Paris or Vancouver. It was Vancouver, right? Paris was the original Scry, right? What was Paris? Vancouver was Scry. Paris was what? Oh, Paris was one less, right? Paris was yeah, okay, sure. All right, well, pretty solid finish. We'll take the profit, and yeah, maybe we're so infinite we should just be playing 100% on our main account since we keep coming out ahead every day. But we'll keep it going. I'm going to look for someone to raid. Thank you so much for hanging out. Lavinius. My buddy Play Dungeon Mans is... I think I'm going to send you to Lady Lavinius, but if you wanted to check out my friend Jim, if you're into this, my friend Jim makes the game Dungeon Mans among other games, and he does a thing where he does his indie game coding. He streams his indie game coding. So if you're interested in coding, you're interested in game coding, and want to check out what he's doing, you can go check out Jim at the link I just posted. But from a raid standpoint, we're going to raid the good lady. So let's send you to her and say hello from me. Thanks, YouTubers, for hanging out. Thanks, live folks, for jumping in and having a fun afternoon, fun time zone with me. And say hi to the lady, and we'll catch you tomorrow, I hope. See ya.